It's Bowling for the Bahamas and Celebrity Bowling Challenge to benefit the Bahamas Disaster Relief Fund. Sunday, December 1st, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. AMF Panorama Lanes, 1724 Genesee Street, Utica. Come have fun and enjoy a few games of bowling for a good cause. There will be prizes, food and drink specials, and some special challenges mixed in along the way. $20 per bowler or $100 per team includes 2 games and shoe rental. All proceeds go directly to the Bahamas Relief Foundation. That's Bowling for the Bahamas and Celebrity Bowling Challenge, presented by Disruption Network, Holy Pozzoli, and AMF Panorama Lanes. Sunday, December 1st, 1724 Genesee Street, Utica.
So you just bought your dream home, and now it's time to move. Let's face it, nobody likes to move. All the packing, unpacking, lifting, upstairs, downstairs, and broking everything, including your back. Let the professionals at EJA Moving Company take all the stress and pain out of your move. Competitively priced moving, relocation services, office moves, and complete packing and unpacking services. They work with everybody to make it simple and easy for you to move and relocate. Call EJA Moving Company at 315-335-0516. When it's time to relocate, have EJA Moving do all the work for you. Hit them up online, ejamoving.com.
Hey, Disruption Network. This is Mike Sacco, the general manager at Nye Volkswagen of Rome. If you don't know me by name, it's only because you have not received the best deal. There's only one reason to leave Utica, and that's to come see me in Rome and get the best deal on your next new, pre-owned, or certified VW. Mention that you heard this ad from Disruption Network and receive $250 off your next vehicle purchase. You'll know why our customers say, I love my Nye VW. Come see us at 5865 Rome Taberg Road in Rome, or visit us online at nyvwofrome.com.
Want to know what's going on at the D? Hit up DisruptionNetwork.net and check out our events calendar, brought to you by the Events Co. Find out about upcoming guests, special events, concerts, show schedules, community activities, and more. Get connected at DisruptionNetwork.net.
Yo, 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 what is up tonight, good people out there? And everybody's going to look at this and go, what in the Sam hell now? Listen, if you watched our hockey show yesterday, you would already know, because I gave a little bump there, that today is our 3 and Out Halloween party.
Ew.
And yeah, it's all very quick and believable. Great stuff going on here. I saw your laser sword. Hopefully people get better. That's just very awkward right now.
Are you an angel?
Yeah, I'm Anakin Skywalker, a.k.a. Rich Masucci, and hopefully I can do this show, guys, because I can't. I obviously didn't plan this out right. I kind of dropped the ball. I can't hear anything. I can barely see anything. I'm looking at myself in the monitor, and boy, I look awful squirrely. But hey, we're going to roll right through this. I got to introduce you guys, man, because we have a full house tonight. Let's get you guys all in on it. Look at these guys.
Hey.
We got a full house here. This is crazy. And let's go right down the row and introduce everybody. Mr. Jamie Ostanet, what's going on?
Not much. I obviously planned accordingly for the show.
Yeah, I was going to say
I can actually hear and see perfectly.
Sans Halloween costume?
Yeah. Well, that was because as I said when I walked in and you yelled at me about this, I left the campus literally 6 minutes ago. So,
so your costume is actually Speed Racer.
Yeah, well, if you saw me on the way here,
He's a professor.
Don't tell the cops on the way there. Probably passed a few of those on the way by.
Perfect. And of course, Princess Leia.
Hi.
What's going on?
Oh,
Otherwise known as Miss Erica Moss.
What's going on?
You're looking great. Are you an angel?
I'm an angel.
I think you are.
No.
Again,
I can't believe I'm dressed like Princess Leia.
All night.
People are not going to get them.
All night.
I can't believe this is happening. But you know what? Whatever. Happy Halloween. Here we go.
I actually told you that we needed a ratings boost. And the best way to do that was to put those buns in your hair.
Yeah.
And
so here we are.
There's a very funny story with this. Erica and I, we used to go to the same film school way back when.
Way back in the day.
And we had a very, he was a teacher at the time.
Professor.
Inappropriate professor.
Yeah.
But a very good friend of ours. And
At the time, he wasn't our friend.
yeah, and he
was our
actually
professor.
He actually offered you what, an A?
An A+ if I put the buns in my hair and took a picture. And I said, number 1, I already have an A+ in your class, and number 2, I could totally get you fired.
Perfect. And that's how sexual harassment.
Yeah, that's
things
how
like-
Whatever.
creepers are born, right
It's all
there.
right. You just had to tell him how it is. I got to give a shout out to Jim, who's checking in. So thanks.
Yeah.
He said I'm looking good. So thank you.
There you go.
And we should also give a shout out to Valencia College, down in
Yeah.
Orlando, Florida. We're still talking about you years later. Ray Nation,
What's up?
what's happening?
Not much.
I love your costume.
Can you hear me in there?
Can I?
I don't know.
Oh, you
don't
can't
hear
hear a
myself.
damn thing.
Yeah, I can't hear
All right,
anything.
Me
cool.
neither.
Oh, yeah. I'm dressed up as a guy recording a podcast. So
There you go, man.
pretty
That's
simple.
good.
I love
You
it.
know,
I love
get
it.
ready. Prepared.
You went with us this past weekend to go see some Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yes,
Over at the movie
classic.
theater. Outstanding, huh?
Fantastic movie.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. And we got a lot to talk about later on there.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, so good times. Look at these guys way in the back, bringing up the rear here. And so people might not recognize you, and I'll introduce you first, Megan. Megan White, who past guest, host, whatever we want to call you, on Free and Out. You've popped in from time to time, and you're dressed as a flapper tonight. I love it.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah. This is like the Giants fan base right here because
Go Giants.
Yeah, we've said it a bunch of times. Now you are such a big fan of the Giants. You had what, season tickets?
I have season tickets.
And you drive out to see them all the time.
Yep. Just
Crazy.
about every week.
Every Sunday you go, Meg?
Every home. Well, so far this year I haven't been to one. So
Oh, so you dropped the ball.
I missed one.
Well, there it is.
But listen, I seen the Giants record. Who can blame you, right?
Yeah.
I go there and cheer. I do my part. Where are they?
That's very, very
There you
true.
go.
We're so happy to have you, and for the first time this season, this is great. We got to do this again. And of course, Mike Zig, Zigarelli, what's going on, brother?
Nothing. Happy to be here.
What now? I have to ask. I asked you this when I came in the door. So that's grease makeup, right?
Yes, it is.
And the first thing I said is is that feces.
No, it's not.
I'm just kidding. I'm very happy you actually did the grease paint today. You dressed up, unlike some other people in here. This is great.
Exactly.
I said I was going to be dressed up last week. So
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Held to
gotta
my
give them
word.
a hard time. I got to give these guys a hard time. So
Take direction well.
they did
Yeah.
not say they were going to dress up. I did. So
that's true.
In their defense.
I said we needed you for the ratings. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see if
now we got Meg for the ratings too.
that's right. I said,
Megan back there.
What kind of thing can we have Megan dress up as? Flapper? Gold, radio gold.
There you go.
Of course, Jason Voorhees sitting there himself under the mask, the man behind the mask. Ray Party coming back in. Yeah. No voice tonight? Those numbers.
He's in character.
Yeah, he's ready to
And
go
you,
already.
you do have the machete, right? The machete and the beer.
Yes.
All right.
There you go.
It's going to be a great show. I can tell already.
Exactly.
If
Now,
anybody's
by the
out-
way,
Too bad I
welcome
don't
to
have
my
my
hell
gun.
because now you get both race.
So it's going to be a great show. I can feel it already. If anybody out there, looking good, Mossy. There's your comment.
Yeah.
It is.
Ratings through the roof by the end of the night. This is going to be difficult too because I can't
Can't
hardly
see.
see out of these. They're supposed to be like desert glasses, like the movie, or maybe they're just not clean. I don't
Well, I
know.
couldn't put the headset on because it would ruin my buns.
Look at this number.
Ooh.
But we don't like that. Let's do this. Anyways, so the way tonight is going to work, for anybody who hasn't seen one of our Halloween shows yet, is we're going to come up with some categories, or I should say we've already come up with some categories, and we're going to be voting on some players and some teams, and we gave each of these categories some very spooky sounding titles, for lack of better whatever I want to say, right?
Exactly.
Terms.
Like the first one we're going to do is the Trick Award, the Trick or Treat, and we have one later on. It's going to be like the Frankenstein Award, and there's all kinds of stuff. We'll explain them as we get to them. But let's get right into it because I know we have Uncle Louie coming up after this show tonight, so we got to hustle through this. Yeah. We're not even taking breaks tonight, guys. We're just power through.
We're just going to go right through.
And we're going to do it. And Qui-Gon told me to stay in this cockpit, and that's where I'm staying. Okay, so here we go. So our first award that we're giving out for our 2019 Halloween awards.
The award show.
The Trick Award, like I just mentioned. And that is going to be given to the player in the NFL that you thought was going to be good, but ended up being scary bad. Scary bad, guys. Scary. So, we're going to go down the road. You guys, Jamie, Erica, and Ray, voted on these beforehand. You put in your nominations for them. And then when we got in tonight, it was like everybody here voted for them. So, and you guys have these. So, Jamie, I'm going to start with you. Your nominee for this, for the guy you thought was going to be good but is scary bad, was...
Philip Rivers of the L.A. Chargers.
Philip Rivers of the L.A. Chargers. And why did you feel that way, sir?
Quite simply, you can look at their record. For a team with all the talent that they have on their side, on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively, Keenan Allen, even without Melvin Gordon, Austin Eckler's looked incredible all season as an offensive weapon. Additionally, you got Bosa and Melvin Ingram, who I understand was hurt on the defensive side of the ball. They should be playing a lot better. Yeah. And a lot of this, unfortunately, does come back to Rivers. Rivers has consistently been one of the better quarterbacks as far as statistically speaking, just regardless of what his record may be year after year. This year, he's finally come down below, we'll say above average levels. He's got 12 touchdowns for the year and 7 interceptions on the year. Touchdown percentage is only somewhere in the 3% area, just a shade over, which is the lowest of his career. So if you're talking about that consistent level that he used to have and you're used to seeing from a guy like Philip Rivers, it's not there.
Right.
And the record is showing it, regardless of a 41-yard missed field goal, which is more the process of Matt Nagy's horrible play calling than it is of the Chargers play this past weekend. So Philip Rivers, you're my guy for the trick.
You know, he's got like 27 kids, right? He might be just like...
Does he have 27 kids?
He's up there. He had 9 or something like that. It's like literally 9, though.
It's a lot.
Big family.
So that's why he's still playing.
So Philip Rivers is your nomination.
Yes.
Okay. And Moss.
Yeah.
Your nomination is.
My nomination is Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield. All right. Baker Mayfield. Let's go ahead.
Baker Mayfield, #1 overall pick in 2018.
Yeah.
He had his rookie year. I think it was 14 games. He ended up playing 93.7. Quarterback rating. So you thought he was going to start this year. He's got Jarvis Landry. Then he's also got, added OBJ. I'm sorry.
There you go. OBGYN. Yeah.
Odell Beckham. I can't even talk today.
Because you've been boozing it up before this show.
These buns are hurting my head. And 7 games he's got in this year, 67.8 quarterback rating. The Browns are 2-5, 0-3 at home. So he's not doing what everybody expected him to do, which was a lot better than this.
Hey, let me ask you a quick question too. How many glasses of wine did you have before?
I've only had 1.
Okay, all right. Just making sure. She said she was going to put those buns in her hair.
It hurts my head, actually.
If she was going to go on the internet dressed like Leia, she had to have some wine. So. And Ray, you went with?
Jameis Winston.
Jameis Winston. Look, we got the signs up there now. Don't ever say that this show has no production value.
Exactly.
And why Jameis Winston?
Pretty simple. He's on pace for a career high in interceptions and fumbles, career low in touchdowns, and it's a contract year, and he's not doing his best. So. Scary.
Has he ever done his best?
I mean,
I have personal feelings.
She's got a vendetta versus the guy. But
there was that one time a few years ago in college.
That 5th year step up with a quarterback, and he just is not showing that. So.
Right on. Okay, so you guys helped us, and we all bet on it, or we all voted on it, rather. And who did we come up with? The winner of this year's Trick Award is... Baker Mayfield. Oh, we got a winner.
If only for probably the funniest interception I've ever witnessed was this past weekend. He literally handed the ball off to a defensive tackle. Guy. It was the funniest damn thing I've ever witnessed in football. It really was.
It was the most ridiculous thing we've ever seen in football.
Worse than the butt fumble?
That ranks up there,
It
man.
was pretty close.
Yeah, it ranks up there.
Legendary.
It's pretty close.
Just so we know, which of you guys voted for, by show of hands, who voted for Baker Mayfield this year?
Well, I did because I picked him.
As the
Okay.
guy.
So 4. We had 4 votes for him. Incredible. High tech.
This is fancy.
Huh?
This is fancy.
Very high tech system we have. Okay.
Hands are secret ballots.
Yeah. So the second award that we're going to hand out tonight is to go along with the Trick Award. We now have the
Treat Award.
So generic we are. It's just so generic. Now the Treat Award is given to the player in the NFL that has been nothing but a treat to watch play this season. And Ray, I think we're going to start with you on this one. Your nomination was
Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson. All right. And I don't even know if we really need to ask about that.
Do we really need to explain? His team is 7-1, and 6-1, and he's on pace. Definitely an MVP in my book. So it's been fantastic all year.
I think a lot of people saying he should take away that MVP award. Either him or maybe McCaffrey.
If not who?
Christian McCaffrey. I heard his name in there too.
Team's losing though. You can't give it to a losing team.
Very true.
I mean, they just lost 51 to, what was that, 13 or 18?
51-13 or something like that. There's been a small little bit of talk after last week's loss with the Seahawks that Aaron Rodgers took him over. Apparently. Thank you for that. I'm glad you're on my side on that one because nobody's more valuable at that point.
Moss, who
We'll see.
did you go with?
I went with Jacoby Brissett. Because we all sat here and we said that the Colts were going to be nothing without Andrew Luck. Well, I shouldn't say we all sat here, but we definitely didn't think that they were going to be as good as they are right now. I mean, he's come in there and he's been a leader for that team. He's got a 99.3 quarterback rating right now. And the Colts are now leading the AFC South. So they got a 5-2 record, and he's doing what he needs to do.
Yeah.
So I think people are kind of forgetting about that whole Andrew Luck thing.
What school did he go to?
Well, let's rephrase that. What school did he start with? And then he got sent away because,
Oh, this is fun already.
Ray, why'd you have to say that? He didn't do anything in college, but it is what it is. He's doing what he needs to do for the Colts.
Jamie, who you got?
I got our boy who we have talked about plenty. And, Foo!
Gardner Minshew.
Gardner Minshew, which we've argued over if he's the second or third, but who cares? He's number one in our hearts. Gardner Minshew, and even with that, we call him Foo for a reason, which when we first saw him, we'll give a little shout out to our boy Gus Edwards.
Yes.
Who said if only his first name was Foo, it would be Fu Manchu, which had been perfect, and Fu Manchu with a Fu Manchu would have been just, I mean, it's poetic justice right there. It's beautiful. But the beauty of watching him is it's on the field, it's off the field. Off the field, he's jazzing up with the Uncle Rico thing, the similarities. He's going with it, he's running with it, coming out in like 1970s disco suits and everything, laughing it up with fans. He's loving it. But on top of that, he's playing pretty well as well with that. He's keeping the Jaguars, which really have every reason to just fold at this point. I mean, defense hasn't been up to snuff. You lose Nick Foles, which was your $1 million man, right off the bat in the first week. And there's a lot of internal turmoil there. You can't really tell for a lot of it because at least the Jaguars are competitive week in and week out. And Minshew's leading a team and also getting a young receiver like DJ Chark on the map. The guy's been pretty good so far. Additionally, what I didn't recognize is that Minshew could move on top of that. He could scramble like a demon, man.
The movement of Minshew.
And the movement of the Foo, if you will.
Movement of the
movement of Foo.
Just for all these little general reasons there, I mean, Minshew's been my favorite to watch. He's taken the NFL by storm over a few weeks.
Yeah.
I think he was on television for about 2.2 seconds before we were all like, "Oh, I like."
We love this guy.
I think it was just the name at first, but.
Yeah.
And he's got that crazy stretching right?
Yeah, there's so much about him that's just odd. Yeah, he's got a lot of weirdness going on with him, and but it's all lovable stuff. It's fun.
It is fun.
It's something that you need to see in the NFL, in professional sports in general, to be honest with you.
It's something that Jacksonville needs, I think.
Yeah, and I'm sure the other 31 teams in the NFL would be just as happy as well. But Jacksonville definitely, with the whole Ramsey situation that's been going on before the trade.
Yeah. Well, once again, we put this into our high-tech, sophisticated vote machine.
Right.
And who did we come up with a winner of our treat award? Not Russell Wilson. Not it's Fu. It's Gardner Minshew taking home this year's 2019
treat award.
I don't even know.
That's a good award to win. The other one wasn't so good.
Nobody wants to be
voted for him here.
I voted for, even though it wasn't my pick. I still voted.
Ray, go ahead. Why did you pick Mr. Minshew?
Pretty much for the same reasons that Jamie said. Just his overall style. If anybody represents the city of Jacksonville, it's Gardner. I mean, just from the suits, the attitude, he embraces that entire community.
Yeah.
I really think they should trade Foles at this point in time and focus on Gardner and the young receiving core like Chark and Westbrook.
Now, when Foles comes back, though, he's I think Minshew's gonna take a seat. You're not on board with that, huh?
Quarterback controversy.
Not at all.
A little bit of quarterback controversy. Okay, all right. Oh, Dave Bandage checking in here. Oh,
what is he singing?
Wizard Annie.
Oh my God!
No, he's got something else. He's singing a song, and I'm not really.
And then he put in DJ Shark, doo doo, the tune of Baby Shark.
Oh my good God!
I love it. I loved it too, though.
We missed you, Dave. Where you been the last couple weeks?
Seriously,
Wizard Annie. Movies. Let's go. We got to keep rolling with this. So, award number 3 that we're going to give out today is our Ghost Award. Yeah, Ghost Award. You know, Scott. Scott came up with almost every one of these awards. I got to give all the credit to him.
Thanks, Scott.
Thanks, Scott. That's a lot of energy, a lot of brain cells we put into these things. I can't claim these. But the Ghost Award is given to the team that has completely disappeared since last season. And just like a ghost, just like a real ghost.
Yes.
Yeah.
Disappeared.
And so our first nominee, Moss, I'm going to let you go first.
You're going to let me go first?
Yeah, and your nominee this year was?
My nominee is the Atlanta Falcons, and I really don't think I have to say anything other than they are 1-7.
Non-existent. Yeah.
Non-existent in the NFC South and non-existent in the whole NFL.
You know, this weekend, I want to ask you, too, where the hell was their defense?
Oh, they're ghost.
They are non-existent. All right. And Ray, who did you go with?
I went with Carolina Panthers.
Carolina Panthers, okay.
Yeah.
And why?
Because they're just bad. I mean, we just saw what they did against the Niners. Looked pretty bad to watch. And I feel bad for Christian McCaffrey because he's a great player and he just doesn't have the help that he needs. Yeah. It's unfortunate. And where's Cam Newton besides nursing an injury, allegedly? I think he's healthy, and I think they tried to save face. I think he really is healthy and he could play.
Yeah.
And they were like, all right, listen, you're playing bad. Let's give this Kyle Allen guy a shot. And now he's just sitting on the bench.
He's gone next year, huh?
I think so.
Yeah, I don't see him coming back to Carolina.
Jamie, who did you go with for your Ghost Award?
None other than our D-line friend, Mike Chicken O'Connor's Chicago Bears, which I'm sure he's not happy of hearing me say that, but it's pretty obvious as to why. First off, you've had a quarterback controversy with Mitch Trubisky. This guy's only in his 3rd year. You shouldn't be having these questions already. Additionally, my favorite part of this past weekend was listening to Matt Nagy's press conference after. And if you haven't caught it, I'll summarize it just very quickly for you. A reporter asked him why, when they got into field goal range, didn't they try to run the ball with a little over a minute left and try to get closer on the field goal? To which Nagy's response was, I didn't want to fumble the ball, or since they were expecting me to run the ball, to lose 3 yards. So that's how much confidence you have in your friggin' team that either Montgomery, who's having a career day over 135 yards, you didn't trust him to hang on to the football, or you didn't trust anybody on the rest of the team to actually gain 1 yard. No, he had to go backwards 3 or 4 yards. Then asked if he was going to, why didn't you throw the ball then? Well, I didn't want to fumble. That was literally his answer when asked if Trubisky should fumble or should throw. I didn't want to fumble. Holy crap, man! That's really where
confidence there, man.
Yeah, you have no confidence in either side of the ball. I wish I could say that truly, because I think they have faith in Khalil Mack and Kyle Fuller, and that's about it. But man, you have no faith in your offense to get 2 yards to make this a 39-yarder instead of a 41-yarder that's essentially missed. Especially a team that's already had many kicker controversies over the last couple of years. So, Chicago, you have totally ghosted after being a well-respected team.
The monsters of the Midway are a shell of what they should be right now.
Yeah, it's ugly up there.
Yeah.
Sorry, Chicken, for the Chicago pick, but we do have to wish him a happy birthday.
Oh, it is Chicken's birthday.
Oh my God, I just ruined his birthday.
Sorry, Chicken.
I forgot about that. Sorry.
Your team sucks.
Happy birthday to you.
Sorry, Chicken.
Oh my God, I can't see in this thing. Okay, so once again, we plugged our numbers into our high-tech internet machine.
Yep.
And our internet machine, and it shook them all up, and it gave us the results. And who did we vote for this year for the Ghost Award? The winner is the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's
And they added to it because Matt Bryant just got
he just got
today.
cut.
So.
Matt Bryant went bye-bye.
Things are bad.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Things are bad.
Even worse.
Very bad.
Actually, even worse. I think the worst thing that they did, besides that, of course, they didn't make a trade at all. So nobody left. Even the Vic Beasley, who was like a big one to go, still a Falcon from at least the last that I saw it. So
it's going to be a rough year for those guys.
It's already been a rough year.
It's going to be even worse.
All right. So award number 4 this year we do is the Goblin Award. And the Goblin Award goes to the team that is a scary monster. Yeah.
Scary.
They're a scary monster so far this season. Our Goblin Award. And Jamie, we'll go back to you. Who did you pick for your Goblin Award?
got to go with the Seattle Seahawks for that one. As far as scary good, Ray already touched on this. Ray Nation, by the way. See, I'm gonna do this already with Ray Pardee behind me.
That's Jason Voorhees.
Well, I can do that then. All right, we're good. But Ray already mentioned it. Russell Wilson's having a monster season himself, and without a lot of a supporting cast really around him. Sure, Carson has done well, but he came out of nowhere. Tyler Lockett's done well, but this is the first shot he's had as a number one receiver. Even the defense has played above a level that I think we were all expecting on the way into the season after all these moves over the last 3 or 4 years where they kind of killed that historical Legion of Boom defense. And they're still 6-1, and they're beating teams that you can argue have more talent from top to bottom than they do. Still winning, no matter what. They're still winning, and so they are definitely my Goblin Award because they are scary damn good right now.
I can dig it. Can you dig it?
Yeah,
that's the wrong movie, dude. That's the Warriors.
I know. You're playing the wrong part there, Masucci. Ray, we'll go to you. Who do you have for this year's Goblin Award?
New Orleans Saints.
New Orleans Saints.
Yep. 7-1.
Yep.
Didn't miss a beat with Drew Brees out. Teddy Bridgewater stepped in. Won 5 straight games.
That's the most impressive thing, too.
That's it.
If you guys remember, we sat here.
I was like, they're going to lose so many games.
Yeah.
I honestly thought they were going to. I said if he could go 500, they'd be okay.
Yeah.
And he never lost. So I was like,
I think all of us said something like 2-4 was like was more realistic.
He when they beat the Ravens, that's when I was like, okay, all right, I think they got it. Once they beat them, I was like, all right. Wow. So but Drew Brees is back and looks like he didn't miss anything.
Right on.
Like 350 yards, no big deal.
3 touchdowns. Yeah, he was fine.
Just Brees being Brees.
Moss, who do you have for your Goblin?
I have the San Francisco 49ers.
Ooh.
And what I find ironic is that we all picked NFC teams. So
that's true,
that says
actually.
something about the AFC right now.
Because we didn't. Nobody wanted to talk about the Patriots. All right, that's right.
Very true. That wasn't even a question. For obvious reasons with the 49ers. I mean, that defense is absolutely sick. I don't know if anybody's going to be able to score very many points against them. Nick Bosa, insane. He should definitely win Rookie of the Year, and he should win Defensive Player of the Year without a doubt. Without a doubt. If things were to end right now, that's what I would pick.
You're on the Bosa bus, huh?
I am. And then George Kittle on the offensive side of the ball has been sick too. We've been saying that for years. Obviously, Mark Bolas has been saying that from the get-go, and we were like, who is George Kittle? And then we learned very quickly who that guy was. So they're undefeated. and you have to give them respect, and we have to say they're the real deal until they lose.
That's true. Bosa was a monster to watch the other night. That was frightening to see how good he is so young.
Scary good.
Yeah.
He's the better of the Bosa
He's the
brothers.
goblin. He could be the goblin just by himself.
I think I said that a few times watching. I think he's better than Joey Bosa. I really do think he was the better of the Bosa brothers because he was just a demon the other night. And yes, I'm using these terms on purpose.
Yeah.
That's nice. I like that.
Doesn't that sound like a almost like
Halloween-ish.
Hapano? It's like a meat shop. Bosa brothers.
The Bosa brothers.
Yeah.
They do. They make sausage.
Bosa brothers meats. Come on down and get your meats. So wait a minute. Okay, the voting's in.
Voting's
and we're calculating it out. Who did we go with for our Goblin Award winner? That is the New Orleans Saints.
Yes.
All right. Who voted for New Orleans out of you guys? You did.
Yes, I did.
Mike, why did you go with New Orleans?
Like my good buddy Ray Nation said, you haven't missed a beat with a guy like Teddy Bridgewater, who, in my opinion right now, he is definitely someone that is going to get a look. They're going to try to make a play for him. Some team is going to take a look and say, we need him to be our starting quarterback. He's probably learned a little bit watching Drew Brees sitting behind him. It's his time to shine now. He's going to take it. He's going to take over a team next year.
Maybe Denver.
Nice. Yeah.
Denver needs a quarterback.
I think Ray's over there actually hoping for it to happen. To be honest with you,
We need one. I'll take him.
Yep. Way he's played, I don't blame you.
So Dave chimed in on a couple things. I just got to go back and look at one of these comments. He was talking about the Atlanta when we were the Atlanta Falcons when we were talking about it.
Yep.
And he said, "How is Dan Quinn still employed in Atlanta? It's baffling."
For the same reason that Dan Snyder still had a job in Washington. That's exactly it right there. That's the sometimes it just doesn't make sense, and that's the unfortunate part. But Atlanta will learn one way or another that they got to move on sooner or later.
Yeah, you're right. Excuse me. All right, so our fifth award, we got 8 awards. We're cruising right through this. We're at 7:28.
We're in great
fine
shape
on time. We're right in the ballpark. So our fifth award for the night is our Frankenstein Award. Sounds very scary, huh? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see you guys all trembling. Yeah. The Frankenstein Award is given to the team that is back from the dead from last year. And just like Frankenstein from the movies, who was cobbed together using several different parts, the Frankenstein team that we're going to vote on was made using the draft or free agency. They pieced this together to build a contender and someone that is just a team that's very, very frightening and a force to be reckoned with. So there you go. But what a description, huh?
That was
very
nice.
Vincent Price.
Seriously.
I got such a.
And you can't see.
I can't see anything. You see me struggling to read that over there? God. I can't see anything with the blast shield down.
Nice. There it is. Another one.
Yippee! So Ray, I'm going to go with you first. Who did you go with for your Frankenstein Award?
I went with the Indianapolis Colts.
Indianapolis Colts. All right.
Because if you remember last year, even when they had Andrew Luck, I believe they were 6-6. And they won 4 straight to finish the year to have a 10-6 record. And then we all saw Andrew Luck decided to retire, and they had to take Jacoby Brissett from the Gators.
Well,
I mean, he went to school there. So, but yeah, no, honestly, we all thought that the Colts were going to be god awful, and Jacoby Brissett has been pleasantly productive for them. So, I like the Colts.
The Colts, it is. All right, and Moss, we'll go with you.
Yeah.
And who did you pick for your Frankenstein Award?
I went with a little bit of a different team, and that was the Arizona Cardinals, because beside the fact that they have a 3-4-1 record, I mean, they're actually playing a lot better than I ever expected them to play. Kyler Murray coming in, getting drafted and as their first pick, and then they just pulled off a trade. Kenyon Drake is coming from Miami to the team because they have some injuries with David Johnson and Chase Edmonds. So I do like what I see from these guys. I think they're giving a lot of the teams that they're playing a run for their money, and there's going to be some upsets when it comes to them. I think they're going to beat teams that nobody ever expected them to.
All right, Arizona.
They pulled something together.
Digging deep.
I did dig deep.
Deep into the Frankenstein bag. Mm-hmm. And Jamie, who did you go with for Frankenstein?
Well, first and foremost, the only reason I actually picked this team is because I knew that Ray behind me would be holding up this friggin' sign that would torture him. But I went with the Buffalo Bills.
Oh my! Look at he doesn't even want to hold it.
You homer picked that.
It was a slight homer pick, but at the same point, when you really look around the NFL, is there a lot of teams that went from a poor record to above average or at least even average at this point? You really can't see too many of that. You see more letdowns than you have, rising up at this point. But when you describe the Frankenstein Award, you can't help but look at Buffalo's roster and realize, like, holy crap, that was literally pieced together either through the draft this past year or free agency. They had, coming in this season, 28 new players, just right off the bat between those. Their entire offense, minus Deion Dawkins and Josh Allen, is new. It's all either free agents or rookies. The only thing that was like a mainstay was their defense, where Kyle Williams retired and Ed Oliver took his place. Everybody else returned. But outside of that, their role players, everybody else is literally brand spanking new. And yes, they've come to a 5-2 record against relatively, I understand most of it's subpar, but they did have a win against the Titans, who are now 4-4 and competing in that place. And on top of that, it was a fun little trivia question for everybody out there, but currently there's 2 receivers in the NFL that have had 50 yards receiving or more in every game this season, and it's Michael Thomas and friggin' John Brown from the Bills. Wow. Those are the only 2 players that have done it all season. So that's got a little bit said there. There's a little bit of chemistry there with Josh Allen and Brown, and I think that at 5-2, if you're a Bills fan and thought 5-2, you'd be pretty damn happy. So yeah. I think that they are coming back from the dead a little bit.
Do you see that? Do you see him gloating over here?
Look at Ray's eyes back. Look at Ray's eyes back there. Speaking of the dead,
he really wants to put. We got to get to the vote. He wants to put that sign down.
I might crumple it.
You know what's going on over here.
Well, we don't know the winner here, so let's go ahead and keep that sign up. Who's the winner of our Frankenstein Award? It is the Indianapolis Colts.
He threw it at you.
Yeah. Oh, that was the best throw by a Dolphin all season.
Boom!
Wow.
God. We got Don Rickles in the studio with us here. This is great.
So Indianapolis Colts.
Indianapolis Colts.
We're coming off the track.
Right, there we go.
Yeah.
We're moving right along here. I like this. And
you don't want to know what Dave Bandage just said.
He doesn't believe me. He doesn't believe me.
Bills at 5-2 sounds like the perfect time for their annual collapse. Oh man.
Shots fired.
He's probably right, but I know that Dave's also a Browns fan, and they already started collapsing when the kickoff happened at the beginning of the season. So.
And boom goes the dynamite.
This is crazy.
Dave, we actually love you. I don't even want to talk any trash to you. You're like an avid listener and watcher of this show, so I won't say anything evil about him.
Yeah. Oh, man, I got to just...
None of us really have anything good to say about
No.
Getting awfully smoky back there.
Yeah, this is hot here. This goggles fogged right up.
You know the best part about this is of all the favorite teams that are currently sitting
Bills
in the
are
show,
doing the best.
The Bills have the best record.
Yeah.
Think about that with everybody here. So... Of everybody currently here, the Bills
we'll
have
let
the
you
best
have
record.
your moment.
What are you trying to say?
We'll let him have his moment.
Your teams are garbage. That's what I'm trying to say.
Hot garbage.
Yeah. Teams are struggling. That's what it is. Let me have my moment, Dave. I apologize.
Can't wait till all of our teams don't make the playoffs.
Give me 3 more weeks when I stop showing up because I'm miserable.
Okay, let's keep going here. We got 3 more awards to give, I think. I can't see the paper.
Yep, 3 more.
Yeah? Okay. So our next award is going to be the Dracula Award, because you can't have a Frankenstein Award by itself. You got to have Dracula too.
Of course.
Spoiler alert: there is no Wolfman, so don't worry about that one. But we do have the Dracula Award, and this one is going to be given to the player that, for one reason or another, has managed to suck the life right out of their team. And their fans too. So and I said before, if you guys want, I guess we can kind of gear this a little bit towards fantasy football if it helps, because I know there's some guys out there that have absolutely killed fantasy football. But let's go down the row. Who didn't we start with last time? Moss, you go ahead.
There you go.
You want me to go first?
Yeah. Let's do you. And who did you have for your Dracula Award?
Again, I'm sorry, chicken, but I have to go with our good boy Mitch Trubisky, because let's face it, he has sucked all year long.
Yeah.
All year long.
Sucked the life.
Sucked the life out of everything. Yeah. Definitely for Chicago. I can't even believe that they already said they're going to continue with him playing as the starter. But this guy, he committed 2 completely costly fourth quarter turnovers this past Sunday. Yeah. And what I looked at, entering this past Sunday's game, he was ranked 29th out of 31 eligible quarterbacks in quarterback ratings, 28th in passing yards per game, 34th in yards per attempt, and tied for 29th in touchdown passes. For a guy that you thought had some serious potential with the Bears. You thought last year he did pretty good, so you were like, oh yeah, he's going to come out, he's going to be on fire, and he has been nothing but a disappointment for that team.
As they say in France, les shit. Jamie, who do you have for your Dracula award? As they say in New York, for your Dracula award.
Dracula. Yeah, you got to have the R at the end of there. So for my Dracula award, and this works well because we're talking New York guy here.
Yeah.
And Sam Darnold. So Sam Darnold of the New York Jets. The big thing, I understand the guy got sick and he was gone for weeks and weeks, and then that happens. Coming into the season, I thought there was a lot of faith from both Jets fans, even myself. I thought Sam Darnold actually looked like probably the most polished quarterback of the quarterbacks that were drafted last year. And I thought, all right, here's going to be a guy that's going to come in and make some strides and actually play well and really probably take that next step. And he went backwards. I mean, totally backwards. Again, I understand you got sick, but when you come back, throw a few decent balls, and you're thinking like, yeah, he's back on. But then my man literally saw ghosts, and it was caught on live TV against the Patriots, and like, oh my God, you don't want to hear that out of your franchise quarterback that I'm seeing ghosts, coach. That's literally what got caught, and I went, oh, like. That is frightening right there. And for other reasons, just because now once you get the mental yips, you could be done forever. It's almost impossible. You start having to see like psychiatrists for that crap, I thought he was about to turn the corner this past week against Jacksonville, and then the ghost came out again. And you saw the second half, he was just throwing pick after pick after pick. And so, you know what? He's sucked the life out of a team that had a shot to surprise some people just by his absolutely abysmal performance when he has been there. He's unfortunately the best of the 3 that they've traipsed out there, though, too. So, Sam Darnold, there you go.
Dracula.
Yeah. And a paranormal investigator, a ghost hunter.
Yeah, he's got to do everything at this point.
He's a ghost hunter.
He's seeing everybody.
Very nice. Ray, who do you got?
I got Jalen Ramsey.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Right.
Yeah, we all know the mistakes he's made.
Yeah.
But obviously he's got traded now, so he's no longer going to take the life out of the team. But they look promising coming from last year. They had A.J. Bowie, Miles Jack, Calais Campbell, Jalen Ramsey. And then all of a sudden, Ramsey decides he wanted to be traded. So he kind of sat out. And then he was out for a week for the birth of his daughter, I believe. Then another week he was sick. And he was just...
He's got a lot of excuses.
He's got a lot of things were going on in his life. But he definitely just destroyed what could have been a potentially very good team in a very mediocre-ish conference and division. So, Jalen Ramsey definitely was terrible.
He's your guy, and just like we said with the definition of this award, he also sucked the life out of that fan base too. Yeah. And a lot of fans there.
Sure, they're glad he's gone.
All 12 of them.
So once again, we did our high-tech voting here by asking 6 people what they thought, and so who did we come up with? Who was our winner this week or this year? Mitch Trubisky. There you go, Mitch Trubisky. Meg, I'm going to ask you a question. He might be available soon. Do you want him for the Giants? No,
he can stay.
Saying heck no to techno.
No,
heck no to techno.
You might want to rethink that.
Yeah.
Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah.
I think I'm taking Daniel Jones over Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah, I'll take
absolutely.
That's a tough
Daniel
one.
Jones is not doing great, but I think I'm taking him over Mitch.
Who would you rather have, Daniel Jones or Mitch Trubisky?
Danny Dimes.
Yeah, Danny Dimes. Danny Dimes.
We'll ask you at the end of the year what you think.
We'll ask you mid-season next year. We'll go from there.
Man, we're just
we're just being awful.
Stirring it up.
It's not bad for all of us.
Let's give the poor rookie a chance before we kill him.
Give him some crap. Don't worry about it. Give him a chance. Give him some shit. So,
I'm trying to be nice because I got some bad juju from Dave, so I'm just trying to be nice now.
Oh, okay.
All right. So, well, next time we talk about Danny Dimes, we're going to have to get you in here and pick your brain on that.
Yeah.
All right.
Because he's an enigma, that guy.
Yes.
Our seventh award of the night. We got one more after this, guys.
Yeah.
Look at that. It's 7:41. Wow. We might finish ahead of time. How the hell that happened?
Perfect.
Oh, Christ. We have to go.
Blessing and a curse, maybe?
Maybe
I
you
don't
guys
know.
trivia or something crazy. So this award is called the Haunted House Award.
Yeah.
And this is given every year to the stadium that every team fears playing at. It's a scary place.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, scary.
Very scary. It's a haunted house. And so, Jamie, I'm going to have you go first. Where did you pick as your haunted house this year?
This pains me to the soul, by the way.
No.
Yeah. Gillette Stadium. So for the New England Patriots home stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts, is my haunted house.
Jamie.
I know.
We weren't supposed to talk about that team.
We did what we could up. It's award 7. I think I can let this one slide. You know.
Yeah, it took us 7 awards to get to them, so I guess that's fine.
They won enough awards. We're fine. But the big
You're really
reason,
trying to piss off Princess Leia, aren't you?
No, that's Ray actually with the Florida comments. So no, the reason I went with these guys though, and I mean, it is damn near impossible to win in Foxborough. It doesn't matter the caliber of your team, the experience of your team. Multiple Hall of Fame potential quarterbacks have struggled in that building. It's just the way it is. It's just. I really don't have much of an answer outside of the fact that yes, the Patriots are a good team, but they just do not lose when they're home. I don't have an answer for that. But one of the most startling stats that I heard over the weekend, and Ray actually heard it as well, before the Cleveland Browns game this past week, it was said that during the Brady Belichick era, they were 28-0 at home against quarterbacks that were 24 or younger, and now 29-0 because of the loss by the Browns. And it's like, man, so they're just, I guess, just showing their experience together at that point because the kids can't come in regardless of talent or ability. And and if you make a mistake, you're done because that experience comes in and they'll eat you alive. And it was pretty much out of hand within a course of 3 plays. I mean, back-to-back fumbles by Chubb, and then an egregious interception by Baker.
That handover,
the handoff by Baker Mayfield to the Patriots. So,
I don't want this ball. You take it.
So my scariest has got to be New England. You just can't do it.
I got
can't win there.
Gotcha. Have you ever gone and seen a game there?
No, I hate Massachusetts passionately. I hate to say that, but I literally cannot stand the state.
I actually went to go see filled with mass halls.
Yeah.
I went to Gillette Stadium to see the Steelers play them, which the Steelers got routed. And we had, I should say, it was actually Brooke Baker that won the tickets. They were Troy Polamalu's tickets.
Oh, nice.
And when we got there, those guys that are dressed like they shoot the guns off the Patriots fans.
Oh yeah.
They said, "You guys are up there." And they pointed to the top of the bowl and they said, "See that top row? When you get there, keep going." So total massholes. And if you get cold, which it's always cold there in December, there's no place to go in that entire stadium to get warm.
It's all wide open.
You got to go to the bathroom.
It's wide open, yeah.
Get warm, or go stand in one of the 9,000 Dunkin' Donuts lines.
Yeah.
So,
but I thought at the stadium there's only women's bathrums.
Well, yeah, you're not allowed to go in there.
Yeah, with all the Patriots fans.
Yeah, truly is a godforsaken.
Easy now.
I take offense to that.
You're a
Moss, what do you got for your, what do you got for what award do we do? Oh, haunted house.
Oh, haunted. I have Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans.
Oh, all right.
Because especially this year, because they are 4-0 in the Superdome.
Yeah.
I feel like ever since Hurricane Katrina, that dome has become very sentimental to that team and to that town. And it's hard to go in there and play. So I think that you're gonna see them they might be able to go undefeated in this whole year. Scary.
It's funny you saying that because that's kind of when that team just clicked.
Yeah, they did.
After Hurricane Katrina.
It's like they came together as a city.
As an entire community.
Yeah, as a community, exactly.
And I still remember that game. That was just Was that the one that came out with like the American flags and the whole nine? It was just like, oh man, you couldn't help but root for the Saints in that game. That was quite the thing, and they've been on fire ever since.
Yeah, and with Drew Brees back now, I think this team is going to continue to succeed.
Hey, Brian Harris just joined the conversation.
Hey, Brian.
There you go.
So, and Ray, who do you got for your Haunted House Award?
I have Seattle at CenturyLink Stadium, or CenturyLink Field, excuse me.
Yes, CenturyLink.
Now, I know normally they are very well at home. This year, they actually have lost 2 games at home, one to New Orleans and one to the Ravens. But their fans are just insane. Yeah. They have usually, besides Kansas City, the highest like decibel level as far as noise, and they draw the most penalties against opposing teams in the head home. So
yeah,
I
guess probably because they can't even hear them. So
yeah.
It's
a lot of false starts.
Yep.
The originator of the 12th man.
The 12th.
That was the originator.
Absolutely. Yep. So who do we got? Again, we asked a panel of experts here, and they all chimed in. And what'd you guys pick? Our panel of Mercedes-Benz Superdome. There it is.
Yay!
Wow. Yeah, the New Orleans Saints taking it again. And there
for this year, definitely for this year,
the haunted house. And guys, I got to tell you, anybody out there listening, if you're listening to our voting and you think we got it wrong, certainly chime in and tell us. What you think.
Let us know.
We'd love to hear some of your opinions and what you think. We're not going to change the awards, of course, but yeah,
we're not going to change the awards.
And and Dave was chiming in. I was trying to get to this. But he was chiming in. I think this might be geared towards you, Megan. It said, it said, but I thought Daniel Jones was the greatest rookie quarterback in decades. I thought he was set to be the first ballot unanimous Hall of Famer. It's fucking Giants fan.
That guy's a Cowboys fan, so
RPG just went to hell.
No.
Oh, it was Ben?
Yeah, Dave
I thought it was Brian that said it.
No. Dave
Cowboys fan. It's different.
Whatever Giants fan thought he was a first ballot Hall of Famer is out. Look, I'll be the first one. I'll be the first one to say it. I came home after practice.
Yep.
I sat down. I got home just in time, and I'm thinking, Haskins. That boy's sitting right there.
Yep.
Pick him. Who's Daniel Jones?
I don't know if Haskins is ready yet either.
We got to get another opinion here. Ray's chiming in. You can hear behind the mask. What do you got to say?
I mean, they have a bad offensive line.
Yeah.
So I'd like to give him a shot, see what he can do. He already brought more excitement than Eli, probably to New York and his marriage. So it's just,
Oh my God.
Again, I've told you this for months, for years. That was their problem. Just because Mr. Statuesque Eli is back there, his offensive line gave him no help. Now you're seeing it with a mobile quarterback with Daniel Jones. Oh, my God. It's like the sea parted. Their offensive line is terrible. I've been saying it for years.
Yep.
I think they need Eric Flowers back.
No, they don't. Thank God they got rid of him.
The Giants fans go crazy.
I would have traded him for a bag of balls.
Didn't they? Yeah, I mean, at that point.
Oh, dear God.
This show's crazy.
This is great.
So let's get to our final award of the night, which is going to be our Black Cat Award. And the Black Cat Award is given to the team that has no luck. Straight up, for one reason or another, that team just can't seem to get out of their own way. They're bad. So who do we have for our Black Cat Award? And Moss, you jumped in there. You went, what?
Well, because you rephrased that. There was no "you're bad."
Well, they're bad. They're bad luck.
They've had bad luck.
They're bad luck.
Doesn't mean they're bad.
There's a difference there.
Oh, I see what she's about. I see why. We should probably let her start.
There's going to be a huge difference for Ray and I when we say that.
I'm going back on.
So, for a team that's had some really bad luck, I'm going to homer it, and I'm going with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Because let's be fair. They lost, that guy, and they lost,
receiver.
That, well, he's now that guy because he's not a receiver anywhere. And then they also lost, the running back that's not doing anything right now either. And then Roethlisberger goes down. Rudolph goes down.
Bad luck.
You got Minka Fitzpatrick.
We did. That was a huge plus. Things are starting to, get a little bit better. They go in a Monday Night Football game.
You're welcome.
They go into a Monday Night Football game, and I guess I'm going to look back over here.
Yep.
Where I was like, what the hell is happening right now? Came out of it, got back in the game, won the game, things looked better. Then you see James Conner go out with a splint on his arm, and then you're like, what the heck is going on? So I'm hoping that things are going to progress in a better way. I know this week you have the Ravens playing the Patriots. So technically if the Steelers beat the Colts, then they can only be a game and a half back. So it's not out of the woods for them. I mean, they could do well. They could win the division, but they've definitely had some pretty bad luck this year.
And I got to tell you, it has been a long time since I saw Steelers fans boo the team.
But you know what? I got to give Mason Rudolph a lot of credit because he was asked about that. They said, what do you think of fans booing you? And they said, if I was me, I would have booed myself too.
There you go.
Because he did. They were playing really, really bad and they deserved to be booed. And maybe that was the fire that they needed under their ass and they got the shit together and they got out there and they played football. So.
Wow, she
just really fired him away there.
Steelers fans.
See, the only downfall of my disagreement with the bad luck Steelers is the receiver, who shall remain nameless, is catching more naps than footballs right now. I think we already know that. And Le'Veon Bell is one of the worst running backs in football. The only one worse is Melvin Gordon.
About to be traded.
They can't be traded now. There's a lot of rumors that came out, but nothing really
coming up for the trade deadline.
But it already hit.
It's already gone.
It's already gone.
Didn't make it.
It's already gone.
Didn't make it.
He didn't make it.
Man, today was the.
Yep. So neither one of them moved, from what I understand.
Pretty sad though when your name gets popped up and this is your first year after that big trade that happened.
It's been like it's been 9 weeks. 8 games generally speaking. So the only reason I don't say bad luck is because you guys dodged bullets right there.
We did definitely dodge bullets.
Hardcore.
But the whole quarterback situation, I mean,
that
Steelers
sucks.
fans have always, I guess,
sucks.
we've always had Ben Roethlisberger, and we're not used to not having him, and so we really need to prepare ourselves for something different.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. Dave checking in one more time, and I got to say this because I already know our nominations, so I can say this. He said the Brownies. The Brownies definitely seem cursed. Strength of schedule has been brutal. So many fumbles, interceptions that magically land right in their opponent's arms. Refs having some interesting calls, no calls, and more. Some of it most definitely self-inflicted, but damn. And he said, one of the reasons I always went with cautiously optimistic when people asked about my thoughts in the offseason. So, Brownies. He's got the Brownies in there. Yep. So, Jamie, let's go with you. Who did you go with?
Well, even going further with Dave, I know the cautious optimism because Bills fan for all these years, so I understand exactly where he's coming from.
Speaking his language, yeah.
We'll have a beer and talk about it, dude. But the one I went with was the Chargers because especially over the last 8, 9, 10 years, you want to talk about a historically just snake bitten team.
Right.
It's the friggin' Chargers. I mean, they had guys like Antonio Gates out for there's their big playmaker out for the season. Oh shit, and then it was Hunter Henry was going to be the new young tight end toward his ACL in preseason.
Out for the season.
I mean, Keenan Allen missed a huge chunk of time, I believe, last year or 2 years ago, something like that. Mm-hmm. And now you can look at this team this year. They're like, all right, we're going to lean on our defense. No, you're not. Your safety just went down for 3 to 4 months. Your young safety on top of that in Derwin James and. Oh, well, now what are we going to do? We'll lean on our quarterback and our offense. It's the worst statistical season of his career. So, okay, well, we'll hand the ball to Melvin Gordon. Wait, he's not showing up either? Shit. What do you do at this point? You want to talk about snake bitten? There's a snake bitten team, and their record shows it. I know they won this past week. It's a damn miracle that they won. They got blessed by who they played and how abysmal that team is not only playing, but the coaching staff, how they're coaching that team in the Bears right now, it's just that they're lucky that they got that win. So the LA Chargers.
So the Chargers.
They always get just right there, and then they
did what every other team does when their team's doing bad. They fire the offensive coordinator. Like they just fired.
Yes, I saw that today too.
Ken Whisenhunt.
Yeah,
you can come back to Pittsburgh.
That's what happens,
Super Bowl ring 1 minute.
I will say though,
because it's his fault, right?
I mean, outside of my pick, I will say the Chargers. I look at it; they've had some very, very bad luck. Didn't they lose like 8 games last year in the fourth quarter?
Yes.
Something stupid like that.
Yes.
Like that's bad. But no, Denver Broncos.
Denver Broncos.
Denver Broncos.
That's your pick. All right.
Number 1, Joe Flacco. Do I need to say anything more than that?
No.
You can
Number
repeat
2,
it if you want to make it
we've
sound right.
already lost 3 games by a total of 4 points.
Yeah.
Last second field goals. You've got to be kidding me. We had that game. I looked at the TV. I was like, oh, we're going to beat the Colts. My phone died. I plug it in. I refresh it. Final score, we lost. I was like, what just happened? I go and look. Field goal again. Unbelievable.
I'm going to be honest. You had me at Flacco.
Yeah.
Yeah. But let's vote on it. High-tech system. Who did we go with? The Denver Broncos.
The Denver Broncos win.
It's about time. We finally won something.
Yeah.
There you
Feels
go.
There you go, Ray.
Feels
There you
good.
go.
The Denver Broncos just won more here than they have all season.
Here's your award, Ray. Right behind you, brother.
There you go.
Hilarious.
But if there's any consolation, Ray, Joe Flacco will not be starting.
I heard
this week.
the herniated disc.
Hey,
in his
maybe
neck.
the
Yeah. So,
So we're
there's a
going-
new
Maybe
quarterback this week.
the luck has changed.
Is it Brock Osweiler?
Shush.
we don't say that name anymore either. That name
It's Brocktober.
Yeah. Brocktober, baby. Yeah.
Brocktoberfest.
That is great.
Awesome.
Well, that is it, folks. Right now is where we put the punch away and we bid farewell to all of our guests who came and enjoyed our second annual Halloween party.
Yeah.
2019
And it was a lot of fun.
was
Halloween bash. I don't know how you guys all think we did out there, but I had fun doing this show.
This is a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
I still feel a little awkward, but yeah.
Yeah, I feel bad. I didn't give picks. I went 3-0 last week.
So you did go 3-0.
I did. I'm hot.
You want to squeeze in one, or you got
Just
one
get
ready?
one. If you got one.
I mean, I got.
I gotta
You know
write
what?
this
All right.
down.
Tennessee plus 4.5.
Yep.
Ooh.
They're on
you
the road. Dallas, they're at home. They're playing -7. They're playing the Giants. Sorry. And,
That's okay.
Detroit plus 2 versus Oakland. I like
Wow.
Detroit. Sam Bradford.
That's a nice
Or
one.
not Sam Bradford. Excuse me. Matt Stafford.
Yeah,
there we
Matt
go.
did.
Yeah.
Take it to the bank.
Cash 'em.
Last week, 3-0.
I take
Cash 'em in.
donations. I'll set up a GoFundMe.
Perfect. And Zig, what's going on? You had the team. You guys went out to celebrate or something. You up at Carousel? You were telling me.
No, that was just a random day for me. No, we had a nice end of the year meeting. We have a lot of plans for the upcoming year. Things are being discussed that are hush hush right now.
Oh, okay.
But there's talks of a bowl game in a state that none of us like,
Uh-oh.
and another
Interesting.
game that
Massachusetts.
yeah, and there could be a talk of another game later on before the start of our season. So I can't really say where or when, but once I find out, I'll, come back on and let you guys know.
Perfect.
Cool.
Sounds good.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Awesome.
And Meg, you're making the agreement right now that you're going to come back and talk some Giants with us.
I will
right?
talk some Giants.
Excellent. I can't wait. Are you going trick or treating as a flapper? That's what I've been waiting.
No, I'm not
you
going
might get
to.
arrested out
We're
here.
going to the bar after this
Yep.
stuff like that.
Trick or drinking is what we're really going. And Ray underneath the mask. Where can we catch you again? Back here soon?
Back here, yeah, please, anytime.
Excellent. All right, man. And I'm sorry about the Dolphins last night. I really thought you had us.
14-0.
14 zip after one.
I'm sure you were nervous for a couple quarters.
For like 2 seconds.
This one.
help
Unbelievable.
me,
Yeah.
Obi-Wan.
How much crap is broken in your house now because of
Most
this?
of it.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Jamie, next week we'll catch you, obviously. But, yeah, man. Any other things you want to wrap it up with?
No,
Good to go. Awesome.
I'm pretty good.
I like your outfit there.
You like it?
Yeah, I don't know if we got the boost in the ratings like I thought we were going to.
Probably not.
But you know,
It's all right.
we can get them on the
The replay.
on the replay. Absolutely. All right. Well, that's going to do it. Dave said enjoyable show, people. So
Thanks,
give
Dave.
yourselves
Do
a
appreciate
thank
it.
you, everybody.
Thank
It's
you.
been a hell of a
Thanks
show.
for everybody tuning in.
And anybody out there, thank you for watching. We do appreciate that. And for Ray and Mike and Megan and Jamie and Erica, I'm Rich Masucci. You guys all have a great night. Watch the games, and we'll check back with you next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. So,
Happy Halloween.
happy
Happy
Halloween,
Halloween.
people. Take care. We'll talk to you soon.
Hit
See
the
ya.
nose.
We out.